Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Futures Trader here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the video.
Gotta get more followers.
If you have not already, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, get notified every time I put out a brand new video. Alright guys, been far too long. I don't do enough recording of trades. Had a blockbuster trade today, so I want to walk you through it. The screen is currently paused. As always, let me explain what's going on. I'm already in this trade. So on the right hand side, we have the Ultrabond. This is the tape for that. This is the Ultrabond depth of market. In the middle, I have the 10 years, and then on the left, I have the 30 years. And before I continue, one thing I want to mention, I'm actually working on an education portion of my website, 100% free, like nothing, no cost, no charges, no anything, 100% free, where I'm going to try to walk people through in kind of a more organized way, these types of trades, why I enter them, what I'm looking for, where I'm picking the exits, etc. So that will be coming by the end of December. I will obviously do a video about that when I launch it. I'm actually really excited because I'm spending a lot of time and putting a lot of effort into it. So it will, I don't want to consider it a course. I'm not teaching you how to trade futures, but I'm basically going to document every single thing I have to say about trading the treasuries and picking trades and different trade setups, etc. So that said, let's get to this specific trade, which is one of the setups. If you watch some of my other Ultrabond videos, a lot of times I'm looking at correlations between the different treasuries, and here's what we're seeing. The 10 years right here and the 30 years on the left are both either at their high or just one tick off their high. They're basically at their high as well over here in the 30s, and they've been pressing upwards. Again, I have this paused. I'm going to let it play in a second, but I want to explain the setup before I let it fly because it moves pretty quick. You can also see here on the 10-year ticker tape, I mean, blue is buy. There's nothing but buyers coming in here. You're seeing huge lots, like 1,000, almost 1,100 contracts there, and you're not seeing a lot of selling. I have this filtered, so it's only trades that are 25 lots or bigger. I don't want to muddy it with trades that are like 1-2 lots, just because this is already moving fairly rapidly. So this is only bigger trades, and as you can tell, it's just all blue, all buyers. So with that in mind, now relating that to the Ultrabond, now I'm already in this trade, and I entered at a price down here of 03. You can tell, I mean, you can tell by the P&L, obviously, everything above it is green, everything below is purple. That's my own custom coloring. But I entered here for 15 contracts, and why I did that is when I entered this trade, the 10s were somewhere around this level here and pressing up. They looked like they were going to take a nice run at their high of the day, but as you can tell, the Ultrabond was nowhere near its high of the day. It has a lot of leg room here to get way up here, and typically that's one of those correlations I'm looking for. You expect the treasuries to kind of all move in step. Now sometimes they get out of step, and that's what I'm looking for. So I would say they were out of step here. These guys were trading kind of in the middle of the range, the 10s and the 30s trading at the highs and pushing, not just trading up here, but pushing it. They were lighting into these guys, and pretty sure they were going to push it up a few ticks, and if they can push it up a few ticks, fully expected the Ultrabond to go on a run. As you can tell here, the current price rate up here is at 11.12, so we're already in the good for about 8 ticks or $3,750. Again, I'm long 15 contracts. So I have a stop loss here that I'm manually moving. I also set a take profit. I put it up here in case you get a spike. You'll see when I let this play, and thanks for hanging in there. I will let this play in a second. It tends to be a bit spiky when there's a lot of activity. So basically what I wanted was if it did like do a random spike up and then pull back, I wanted to get that. I wanted to at least have a shot at capturing all that profit. You'll see as I let this play, I actually move this up a little bit. And then what happens, we get to a point where it kind of starts to stall. It doesn't look like it has a lot more room. So I move the take profit down, but let's let this play, and I will walk you through it now as it's playing. So like I said, I'm just showing with the white cursor is my mouse at the time that I was trading. The black cursor is my mouse now. So these guys are up here at the high. These guys pulled back a tick, but no big deal. Ultrabond's still playing in here. You're just seeing buyers just pound into this. That's what I'm circling there. Again, sitting right at its high. They look like they're just going to wipe these guys out. So I'm keeping a stop loss here, but I don't want to be like one tick off because this does have, like you see right there, it can fly down a tick pretty easily, and I don't want to get taken out when there's a lot of potential for this to go on a run. So right now, I'm basically, all I'm thinking about is managing the stop loss and managing this take profit. I want the take profit in striking distance in case we get a spike, but I also don't want to sell myself short. I don't want to set it, like one tick above. I want to see if we can push up here. I'm also continuing to look over here. So as soon as I see some exhaustion over here and like they're done, that's when I'm looking to try to get the best price and get out of this trade. But for now, I want to let this run. As you can see, I just moved my stop up and I just moved my take profit up. I'm like, okay, let's give this a little bit more room to run. Buyers and sellers still hanging out up here at the highs on the 10s and the 30s. Kind of a pause here. Nothing's really trading, just waiting. And there you go. You got a bunch more buyers popping up. They're really trying to push this high, but it seems like at this point, maybe we're running out of steam. So I'm carefully, I don't want to put this stop too close to where I get a good price, but I could have had a little bit more potential, but I also don't want to give up a lot of profit. I don't want to set my stop down here and give it a ton of room, but then give up a couple thousand in profit. As you see, we finally get another crack here. These guys are now re-pushing this up, which is what I love to see. Again, managing my stop. I'm kind of trailing about 2 ticks behind, and I'm managing my take profit here. So similar situation to like a minute ago now, where I'm waiting to see, if this pops down and hits my stop, so be it. This will be a good trade. Actually, I was trying to move it there, but it was at the current price. And it actually works out that it didn't let me move it because we end up getting a few more ticks out of this. So right now I have my stop set there. I'm like, I don't want to lose, if this comes down and hits this, I'm perfectly fine with this trade. Plus these guys, while they continue to push it, they've been pushing this high for a while, and just based on experience, I'm going to pause this for a second. There's going to come a point where the buyers are kind of exhausted, the sellers have had enough, and they're going to bring this back down. So that's kind of where I'm at with this now. I don't want to give up much of this profit because I really think we're getting to that point now. And there's no science. It's all feel. It's all reading, the numbers on the screen. Some people look for what indicator do you use? There's no indicator. I'm just reading the order flow and seeing how buyers and sellers are behaving. Think of this as like an open market. How are people behaving? Well, we're starting to see some sellers, pile on here. And knowing that buyers have been pushing this up, think about the different participants in the market. All these people who bought down here are doing the same thing I'm thinking. They're thinking, okay, when the train ride's over, I'm getting out. I want to sell at the highest price I can. So if you're one of these guys who bought down here, and I know I'm talking about the 10 years, but if you bought down here and you were one of those guys that bought like 1,000 contracts, and you start to see this slow down, now you're looking to sell. You become a seller. So I'm fully expecting this to tire out at some point here, but we want to squeeze it for as much as we can. And I'm doing the exact same thing that I just talked about, except I'm doing over here. I'm like, okay, I want to be a seller at this point, so that's why I moved. And I'm going to actually back this up just a smidge because I was talking while I did it. Okay. And I have it paused, obviously. I originally, or at this point, I had my take profit set up here at 19, and I have my stop. But I'm at the point now where I'm starting to think we're out of steam here. I don't know that we're going to get this push up to 19, but I want to get as much out of this as I can. So I think I move it down here to 16, I believe. We'll let it play and see here. Basically, I'm like, okay, yep, and that's exactly what I do. If I can get 16, love it. I'm fine with that, and that's whatever price that was about 6,000. And there you go. I got hit for there, so for about a $6,000 winner on that trade. I'll just let this continue to play. There's no more trades that I take, and honestly, I didn't even really pay attention to what happened after this. And you look right there was a nice big run. So there was definitely more to be had, but it's not so much about grabbing every single tick. This isn't Pokemon. You don't got to catch them all. You just got to catch some good ones. And watching this now, yeah, they're continuing to press it, but that is quite okay. I was more than happy with that trade. So hopefully that helped explain some of what I'm looking at. I know it's rapid fire when I'm talking and try to explain the trade itself, but that's kind of how it goes. You need to be able to pounce when the opportunity is there, take advantage of it, and if you're wrong, get out. I mean, there's no magic tricks. It's just about order flow reading. So guys, like I said, I am working on documenting all of this type of stuff on a full page where I'm going to explain all the different trade setups I look for. That was one where what I'm going to be calling the catch-up. Basically, you have a couple of the products trading at one area, specifically the 10s and the 30s were trading at their high. The Ultrabond was nowhere near that and was able to ride it up because the Ultrabond essentially caught up to the other products, which is what I fully expected. So I'm going to leave you with that, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.